Okay, everybody, we're all going to settle down about martial law. Mama Gia's got you. Daisy's got you. Let's have a little let's have a little talk. Okay, I have been asked this question about 20 times today. I guess there's a video making the rounds making a very persuasive argument that this is what's in the works. Not only that, this has been rumbling since the entire time he's been in office, okay? So let's break it down a minute because I see no reason to get carried away, but let's break it down. Look, Daisy's so unbothered she wants me to play. So I'm sorry if it, I'm sorry if it gets loud and squeaky. So apparently this idea comes from so loud. This idea comes from an executive order, yada yada, and there is logic to back this up. So I get why people are asking why they are concerned. But this has been a question since January, and I and the other 4am Club Dreaming Women creators, we've talked about this amongst ourselves. We've asked our guides both about, because there was a lot of talk about the Third World War or a Civil War. And so we have asked our guides this repeatedly. And again, our guides have repeatedly said, no, none of us have seen that. And again, I checked in today. I checked in with these other creators. I'm not going to tag them in case they didn't want to go on the record, like they haven't made videos about it, but feel free to tag yourselves. You know who you are. And again, we're not seeing it. Now, I did ask this in my April preview event because again, it was whispering, people were concerned about it. So I asked Spirit and I tuned in live during that event. I will show you a clip of that. Again, the answer was no, not the way everyone's afraid it's going to happen. Now, not too long ago, I was tagged in a fantastic video, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember who it is. It is in my reposts, where a guy said, hey, by the way, what he's already doing right now of just running the country by executive order, that is martial law. He's already doing that. So it's not the big, scary, tanks rolling down in the streets that everyone is afraid is going to happen. And as I've said in numerous videos and in all the lovely reposts that I'm sharing, what he's doing is being fought and embattled and pushed back. It's not happening the way he promises it's going to happen. They're even having a battle over the tariffs in Congress and the Senate right now, okay? Now, remember, I have been wrong about a very big thing, maybe some other small things. So remember, we're doing radical accountability. I am just some random on the internet. I am not the gospel. I am not the final word. I'm just bringing to you what I have seen and what I have not seen. And let me bring with you a little bit of logic as well to kind of help you feel through and come to your own conclusion. Our country is massive, both in land mass and population. Let's just pause and think about how many square miles of country, how many neighborhoods, how many streets, and how many military personnel we have that would be needed to enforce it in a way that is like in the movies that everyone's scared of. That is laughably impractical. Like I can't even wrap my mind around how that would work. I mean, I'm sure people in the comments are going to try to prove me wrong. That's fine. I'm not an expert. But logically, I'm like, how could they even pull that off in a country our size? What you also have to remember is how many military and retired military are not having his shit. The tides have turned so profoundly against him that if he were to try it, his chances of it being successful are dwindling by the day. He does not have the power and the people are pissed. But, okay, let's play devil's advocate. What if he tries it? What then? What's going to happen? Like everything he's doing and attempting to do, it is blowing up spectacularly in his face. It's being fought. It's being walked back. There are battles for every single thing that he's done, and he's lost just about all of them. If you don't want to take my word for it, Amanda's Mile Takes brings us the most incredible losses of his entire presidency, day by day, play by play. He doesn't have the power to do this. And if he attempts it, that will be his undoing. And if he's not smart enough to know that, go ahead and try. South Korea, we gonna be joining you. We are gonna be the next to overturn our presidency if you try it. So there you go. These are my takes. I'm going to drop the clip. Like I said, I'm going to add the clip just after this. Again, I'm not gospel. I am not God. This is the way I see it. This is my perspective. If you like my perspective, great. Maybe that will help you put your mind at ease. If you don't like my perspective, that's okay. These are just ideas, and we are critical thinkers in the 4am Club. So there you go.
Okay, martial law. That was something I wanted to look into because everyone is like talking about that like it's a done deal. I don't know where that idea came from. I don't know where that idea came from. It's never resonated with me as like a plan. So let me tune in and ask about martial law. That was an idea floated to keep people afraid, and it has worked. There will be a point at which people will want to be and will be spilling into the streets to be chaotic, to fight against. Whether I'm like, am I seeing that as a response to martial law, or? No, I'm still getting it's not going to happen, but I'm like double, triple checking. Is that, what do you want to show me about that? No, because they don't have enough power. So again, it's about that energetic balance of power. They're just so on the run and on the defensive right now. That is a move of someone who is in power and closing in on more power. And that's not something that can happen. And in addition, enough of the, on the ground military people who would need to enact that are not for it. They're not doing that. Remember, we had that change of the energy of clearing the karma of war, and military will now be used for protective purposes. It will not be used against innocent people. Yeah, Cecily says, I'm married to a retired Army officer. Martial law is so hard to pull off. I wouldn't stay in the fear zone there. That's my feel about it. A lot of people are afraid of that. I just don't see that happening. So, okay.